So you're looking for a business banking platform. You've come across Novo and Axos, and you want to know which one is the better fit for your business. Well, by the end of this video, you're going to know how Novo and Axos compare in terms of features, which platform is best suited for different types of businesses, and key details to consider about both before you make your decision. And there are some really important details to be thinking about. So diving right in, what is Novo Business Banking? Novo is a digital-first banking platform tailored for small businesses, freelancers, and entrepreneurs. They offer fee-free business checking accounts, focusing mostly on simplicity and flexibility. This is actually the first business bank account that I ever got, probably about 6 years ago now, and I was using Novo exclusively until about a year or so ago when I made a switch to another platform, which I've got a couple of videos about explaining why. But I found them to be extremely solid for the time that I did use them for some features that we're going to be covering right now. First of which, no monthly fees, no minimum balances. Great for you if you are just starting out and you don't have a ton of money in your business bank account. Additionally, you've got unlimited fee-free ACH transfers and incoming wire transfers. So super easy to receive money. You can also send money domestically pretty easily. Also, you're looking at seamless integrations with big platforms like Stripe, Shopify, PayPal, QuickBooks. So really whatever you use to manage your business finances probably works with Novo. And then if you're an e-commerce business, they've got Novo Boost, which allows you to access your Stripe payouts even faster. So if you're somebody that uses Stripe to sell stuff, could be compelling for you. Now, a couple things Novo does not do. First, cash deposits. So if you want to take cash, put it in your Novo account, you're going to have to buy a money order. Not going to be optimal if you're somebody that does a lot of business in cash. They also don't offer any interest on your account balances. So if you're planning on carrying a ton of money in your business checking account, might not be the best solution for you. Now, Axos, on the other hand, is a fully online banking platform designed for small businesses as well as startups. They offer a range of different business accounts. So unlike Novo, where you've just got the one account, with Axos, you've got checking accounts, you've got high yield savings accounts, all with an emphasis on digital convenience. Now with Axos, you're looking at no monthly maintenance fees on several of their account types, not all of them. You've got 24/7 online access to your accounts, as you would expect. You do have some interest-bearing options here, like the business premium savings, and you've also got free domestic incoming wires and very easy account setup. Similar to Novo, Axos also integrates with a lot of popular accounting tools, provides you with dedicated customer support, and unlike Novo, they offer a variety of different loan products for businesses needing access to financing. Now, diving into some of the key comparisons here, first, let's talk about fees. While both Novo and Axos do offer fee-free business checking accounts, there are going to be some differences and scenarios where you might encounter fees. First, let's talk about ATMs. So if you use an ATM with a fee, you're going to be eligible for up to $7 in ATM fee reimbursements from Novo. With Axos, on the other hand, you're going to be eligible for up to $12 in ATM reimbursements. Some slight advantage there for Axos if you're somebody who uses ATMs a decent amount. In terms of account management, Novo makes things extremely simple and extremely straightforward. That's one of the things that I really liked about them, is just how easy it is to use a Novo account. On top of that, within your singular Novo account, you've got something called Novo Reserves, which is kind of like a separate corner of your account that you can allocate funds to. So when I was using Novo, I used a reserve for my tax money. So as a self-employed person, you got to pay quarterly taxes. I would just stash money away in that reserve anytime I got paid so that I could always just see how much money I had set aside for taxes and just held myself accountable to make sure that that was actually happening. Additionally, you've got built-in invoicing. So this is super nice, right? If you're somebody that has to send invoices for your business, and most businesses probably do, the fact that you can just send those directly from your bank account and the funds go straight into your bank account without any fees if you're just doing an ACH transfer is pretty compelling. This is something that I used all the time when I was a Novo user, and one of the things that I was a bit sad to let go of when I migrated to my new banking platform. Now, Axos, on the other hand, is going to offer a wider range of accounts, including, the option to earn interest, have, a dedicated savings account for your business, and you've got some pretty robust integrations with tools like QuickBooks just to make your bookkeeping even easier and more streamlined. Diving a bit deeper into, interest-bearing accounts, savings accounts, with Novo, you've got none of these. You've just got the business checking account. That's all you've got. With Axos, you've got accounts like their business premium savings. So if an account where your balance will continue to grow is important to you, Axos is going to have better options there. But there is some fine print that we'll get into a little bit later. Now, if you're looking to borrow money, access financing for your business, with Novo, this is possible through the connections that they offer to third-party lenders. Axos, on the other hand, is going to provide you with a range of loan products, including SBA loans, equipment loans, business lines of credit, things like that. If your business needs financing, this makes Axos a pretty solid choice for you. And their business interest checking account, which has a 1.01% APY on balances up to $50,000. Something to keep in mind here, that does come with a $10 per month maintenance fee if your account balance does not maintain at over $5,000. But if earning interest on your account balance is a priority, Axos is definitely going to have better options here. That's all well and good, but what do the people have to say? What are users of both platforms saying in their reviews? And there is some pretty important stuff to keep in mind here. Starting out with Novo, they're currently sitting at a 4.4 out of 5 stars with over 4,000 reviews, with users largely praising their simplicity, invoicing, and integrations. But they do mention occasional delays in customer support, and this is something that I personally encountered when I was using Novo, and it was one of the reasons why I eventually did decide to leave. The support, it's fine. It's not out of this world. It's not completely atrocious, but it just takes a little bit longer than you sometimes want. And for me, that was just one more factor that led me to look elsewhere. Now with Axos, on the other hand, they're currently sitting at about a 2.5 out of 5 stars with about 200 or so reviews. Now, while that is a pretty small sample size, there are just an overwhelming majority of 1-star reviews. And, with any review-based platform, the people who go there are going to be the most opinionated, right? Like, nobody takes the time to write a review that doesn't feel strongly, but there's a lot of strong negativity here. And much of that comes from complaints about getting denied for accounts, holds being placed on your account, Axos having difficulty handling more complicated situations, complaints about loan services. So there's a variety of things that people are pretty unsatisfied with when it comes to Axos, which for me is a really big, at least yellow flag to be looking at, right? If I was going to go out there and open up an Axos account, I would be very, very cautious and just make sure I'm not putting too many eggs in this basket and really just like testing it out to see for myself if these negative reviews are representative. Now, that being said, there are some, positive reviews with customers highlighting competitive loan rates, easy account management, but these do seem to be the minority as it stands currently. So all that being said, which one's going to be the better option? You're probably going to be better off with Novo if you are a freelancer or solopreneur looking for simple, fee-free banking. That's why I started using them, and that's why I got a ton of value out of them. If you're an e-commerce business that wants fast access to Stripe payouts, that Novo Boost feature could be pretty compelling for you. And if having built-in invoicing and seamless integrations is compelling for you, could be a really solid place to bank. Now with Axos, on the other hand, if you're a small business that needs a low-cost banking solution that also provides you with access to loans and credit lines all in one spot, could be a good choice. If you want to be earning interest on your balances, could be a good choice. If free outgoing wires and better ATM fee reimbursements are important to you, could be a good choice. But coming back to those reviews, definitely going to want to tread carefully here. And my personal suggestion would be to try both for yourself, see which one you like better, and then stick with that, since both are completely free to sign up for. And if you want to use the links in the description below, that really does help to support the channel when you sign up for both of those accounts and make sure you get the best available offers for both. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.